Hello and welcome into TalkFCB and welcome here to the Catalan derby. It's Girona against Barcelona live from Estadi Montilivi in what should be a very, very exciting clash on this Sunday afternoon. And this preview here is coming courtesy of the OneFootball app on this very special derby occasion. OneFootball app you can find in the description down below. It's certainly something that I would recommend. It keeps you well updated on the latest scores, the lineups, all the stats that you would need with regard to your favourite club, and of course, all the news and transfer news as it happens. You can find that in the description down below. And with Girona strangely deciding to rest their key players in the week in the Copa del Rey game against Real Madrid in order to be fully ready for this game, will it be worth it? We'll be hoping that it was a complete waste of time, as our very own Lionel Messi and no doubt Sergio Busquets will be returning to the lineup as we bid to stay 5 points clear at the top of La Liga. It's all coming up. Everything you need to know. Let's do this. Kickoff will be coming to us at 4:15 PM on Sunday afternoon, a slightly earlier kickoff than we are used to on that Sunday. We'll be making this short trip across the city to Girona, just an hour away from Barcelona. And as always, guys, you have been predicting your outcomes in this game, and I have to say, this one this week has been a pretty close vote. A lot of you are torn here between a win by 3+ goals and also a win by 2 goals. It's very, very close between the two, with not a lot to separate them. Either way, I would take either one, and my prediction, as always, coming up at the end. Elsewhere in La Liga this weekend, fresh from their first leg win in the Copa del Rey against ourselves, Sevilla stormed back into third place in the league for the time being with a 5-0 demolition of Levante. Sevilla really were on fire in this game, really electric in front of goal, and we're certainly going to have to be up for that game next week if we got any hope at all of a comeback. Sevilla looking strong, whereas Atletico Madrid in second place right now. They'll be hosting Getafe at the Wanda Metropolitano as they bid to keep their pressure on us at the top of the table, and Real Madrid will be taking a visit to our other city rival, Espanyol. That'll be coming after our game on Sunday night. And if we just take a look at the La Liga table, Barcelona, of course, on top, as it should be. Like I say, we're really hoping that we can keep that cushion between ourselves and Atletico Madrid. That kind of cushion is really what we want to be aiming for, and hopefully, if we can, like I say every week, we want to extend that. We want to be looking at other games, looking at where we can pick up points, and the most important thing from our perspective, especially with the way we're going and the way the season is continuing, keep doing our job, keep sticking to our own guns, and we've got this. We've got to focus on our own momentum, our own games, picking up those points week in, week out, and if we do that, we are going to be league champions. And if we start here with our opponents, Girona, who are currently in 12th place as I'm recording this, they should finish comfortably in mid-table. They're not too many points away from being a lot higher than that. Obviously, they want to pick up points soon, though, or they could be dropping just a bit lower. But they are in mid-table, and I would certainly expect them to be pretty comfortable in La Liga this season with the players they have, the way they play. They're a very, very good team on their day, which is all the more reason why I cannot get my head around. I honestly don't understand the decision from their coach Eusebio to rest their key players against Real Madrid in their Copa del Rey quarter-final in the midweek. 4-5 regular first-team players, they were all on the bench. Christian Stuani, the top goal scorer, one of the top goal scorers in La Liga, didn't even come on at the Bernabeu in a game they genuinely could have got something from. They lost 4-2, there was 2 goals in the last 10 minutes or so. They were well in that game, and with those starters, they could have even won at the Bernabeu and gave themselves a real chance of progressing to the semi-finals. And you look at it like this: Girona in the last round, they knocked out Atletico Madrid. If you knock out then Real Madrid, Barcelona could be on their way out. Girona could have had a genuine chance of winning this trophy. They're not going to get relegated, they're not going to win the league, they don't need to rest players to play in league games, they're going to finish about mid-table, so why not go for the cup? I just don't understand it. I don't understand why you leave Stuani on the bench given those circumstances, and other first team players as well. And in this game, I really don't expect them to get anything at all, so it makes it even more confusing. And it seems even more foolish when you consider Girona's form. They can't really afford to be picking and choosing their games, because that loss at Real Madrid now makes it 9 games in a row without a win for Eusebio's side. Girona haven't actually won a game since the start of December, so we're going to be coming up against a side here who are very much starved of confidence right now, and that should play right into our hands. Playing against a team like that that, short on confidence, lacking a little bit in the way they're playing, a little bit of indecisiveness in their play, we will capitalise. Because of course, in the midweek, we also rested key players. The likes of Lionel Messi and Sergio Busquets didn't play against Sevilla. Coutinho, Suarez, they didn't start the game either, but with good reason. We're not too concerned about the Cup. That is certainly not our priority this season. We are a lot more focused on the League and of course the Champions League as well. And that's why I think in this game it's really important now that Valverde sticks to those principles. He's prioritised the League over the Cup. He showed that in midweek. It was a tough game against Sevilla, but we left our players at home or on the bench. Now don't go rotating in this game simply to rest players ready for Wednesday to make that comeback, or it starts to become a bit of an endless cycle. We prioritise the League, we've given the Cup a back seat, so stick to those guns now and play a strong team against Girona. It's no good rotating and resting now and dropping points in this game only to make the comeback on Wednesday when we could have played a strong team away at Sevilla and not had to make the comeback. We've said, look, the Cup is not our priority, stick to that, pick a strong team to play Girona, get 3 points on the board and move 3 points closer to winning this title. And when you look at our previous meetings against Girona, we'll certainly be looking for a bit of revenge, certainly following our meeting earlier on in the season. That was a 2-2 draw at the Camp Nou against them. Stuani scoring both of those goals for Girona, showing just how dangerous he can be against the top opposition. That was back in September, following of course that very controversial Clement Longley red card just before half-time, which completely changed that game. So we certainly want to hit back, get 3 points on the board, and we'll be confident really on the back of last season's results at Girona. We swept them aside 6-1 at the Camp Nou. Suarez scored a hat-trick in that game, and away from home, going to Estadio Montilivi, we won by 3-0, and there was 2 own goals on that day. I'll certainly take that kind of luck in this game, but ultimately, Girona, they're out of form right now, they're low on confidence, their key players may have been rested, but even so, we are ready for this one. We prioritise the League, we want to go into this game with a lot of momentum, carry on our own winning run in the League. We've got this. And Valverde certainly echoed that in his press conference. He spoke about Girona's strengths. He spoke about the fact they're a very strong team both in the League and the Cup. They've certainly showed their quality right throughout their season so far. And he was asked once again about new signings. He spoke about De Jong. He said he's a very important player. We're happy to have him. We were very happy to have sealed that signing. He was then also asked about the left-back position, whether we needed to strengthen that side. I spoke about that earlier on this week. And Valverde said the left-back position is one that we definitely need to strengthen. The club is looking into the market. They're looking at the options, and that is certainly something that we do need to focus on. So good to see the club recognising that there. And once again, he was asked about Malcolm's future, to which he replied, Malcolm is a great player. He's got good qualities. He's good on the ball. He's very, very quick, and he knows how to play and keep his width on the wing. He said, I want him to stay here. So once again, there, Valverde opting to keep Malcolm at the Camp Nou, if at all possible this window. And if we now move on to the official squad list from Ernesto Valverde, and as expected really, following resting players against Sevilla, no real surprises in this one. Ter Stegen, Semedo, Piqué, Rakitic, Sergio Busquets, Denis Suarez though included in the squad despite more doubts about his future emerging. Coutinho, Arthur, Luis Suarez, Messi, Silerson, Malcolm, no Dembele of course because of that injury that he still has, Longley, Alba, Kevin Prince Boateng, Sergio Roberto, Carlos Alenia, Arturo Vidal and Thomas Vermaelen. No Jason Murillo. Now that Vermaelen is fit, he appears to be the third centre-back right now, and potentially Valverde may look to play Murillo in that Copa del Rey game in the week, depending on how things go. And if we now move on to our expected lineup from Ernesto Valverde, I've actually got 2 different variations that I want to show you here. Which one would you rather see, and which one do you think that Ernesto Valverde is going to go with? I think it's pretty much all but certain, apart from one sort of position here. Ter Stegen here, Albert left back, Longley, Piqué, Sergio Roberto, Sergio Busquets returning, Ivan Rakitic of course is going to play in that midfield, Arthur, Suarez, Messi, and this is the position here that's certainly up for grabs. Will Coutinho play as part of the front 3 on the left hand side, cutting in from that wing, or will Valverde go with an extra man in the middle? Because I think there's also a chance that Ernesto Valverde could include Arturo Vidal. He does like to have him in the team. He certainly gives a lot of energy, a lot of intensity when he is in that midfield. And will Coutinho actually be selected? Has he done enough recently? Is Ernesto Valverde going to put him in there for this kind of away game, or is he going to go again with that sort of midfield quite narrow there, allowing the fullbacks to really get up and give their width, with Messi and Suarez patrolling as a front front too, with that support from the midfield. Which would you rather see? Which do you think Valverde will go with? Should Coutinho be in the team? Will Valverde opt for him? Let me know in the comments down below. And so it is time now for my score prediction, and bearing in mind everything that we mentioned in this video so far, I'm going to go here, Barcelona 3, Girona 0. I'm going to go strong, I'm going to go confident on this one, and I'm actually going to go for an exact repeat of the scoreline from last season when we headed to Montilivi. So let me know your thoughts, your predictions, your scores, your lineups in the comments down below, guys. Thank you, as always, for joining me here today. I'll see you tomorrow, of course, for the big game. But until then, as always, Visca El Barça!